Ladies and gentlemen, namaste and good evening. A very, very warm welcome to this very special occasion, wherein today we are launching Dr. Mahalakshmi's book, Eternal Petal. So I welcome on behalf of Gurucool Publishing, on behalf of Dr. Mahalakshmi, to everyone. And Dr. Mahalakshmi, primarily, she is a scientist. And as you know, that all of us love flowers. But the problem with the flowers is it has very, very limited shelf life. But with the help of her research, her knowledge, and because she is scientist, she's had been into research background, she has created a technology wherein flowers can be preserved for a longer time.
I can hear it.
For years, you can preserve your flowers. And this is something what she creates. So many congratulations to you, Dr. Mahalakshmi, for releasing your book. So first of all, I would request Dr. Mahalakshmi to please unwrap the book, and I would request all the guests to please switch on your cameras, unmute yourself, and give a huge round of applause to Dr. Mahalakshmi and congratulations. You can open your cameras, open your mics. Many congratulations to you, ma'am, for the release of Eternal Petals. It was a long pending book, and finally it has come to the life. Great.
Thank you all. Thank you all. It was all your efforts that has gone into creation of this book. It's my pleasure to be on this achieving day, to be with Mr. Our publisher and with all of you. Thank you all.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Many congratulations.
Thank you.
You earned it all.
With all your support. Thank you.
Great. So, ma'am has compiled her journey from being a scientist to an entrepreneur. And during the journey, she has faced a lot of challenges and so on. So, I would like to invite now Dr. Mahalakshmi, and let us understand what exactly this book is all about and why did she choose to write this particular book. Over to you, Dr. Mahalakshmi, please.
Yes. See, I was basically a dreamer of a flower that I wanted to cherish forever. From my childhood, I was not able to accept the flower when it was withering. That was the subconscious feeling that was in my mind that took me a long way to evolve something very unbelievable. In fact, it was a dream to me for a quite long time until I was able to see the real flower in its real state. So that is how the my story started. It is about 22 years of my journey that has brought to me today to be a passionate flower lover, to the scientist, to an entrepreneur. So this long journey, when I was narrating this to Mr. Vineet as a part of my IBO program, Know Your Member. So as a part of this deal, when I was trying to talk about my journey, it was he who had just pinned a point and said, you are going to put it into the form of a book. And that's how my journey started to think of writing a book. And this is what is the end of this. After 2 years of my interaction with him, we are able to have a book released on this day. Thank you all.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much. I do remember that KYM. When I heard your story, so I thought that, it will be a good idea because already you are writing a lot of research papers, presenting it into different universities, different countries. So why not a book which can inspire the generations to come? Great. Ma'am, during your entrepreneurship journey, and especially the transition when you are turning from a scientist to an entrepreneur, there must be some challenges which you might have faced. Would you like to focus on few of the challenges? What did you face and how did you overcome those?
Dr. Vineet, to say frankly, it was not one challenge. Every day was a challenge. It was from the day one when I started thinking of continuing with my flower research, especially when I was dreaming, it was not really hurting me. But when I realized that the flowers are withering in the labs and in the flower arrangement lab, when the students were working, when I was able to see the flowers withering, my heart was just pumping little hard to say that no, this is cannot be allowed. There should be something more stronger to revive its energy. I mean, it give life to it. So this is what was the learning with which I started. And when I was in 2008, when I saw the emotions of my mother, and when I was trying to, I mean, of course, during my immediately after my marriage, when my husband gave me the flower for my first birthday, when it withered, of course, both of us felt the pinch of it. And later, when I was going to, in 2008, when I was touching my mother for the Mother's Day, when I gave the flower on 4th day, when it withered, it really pinched me a lot. I have not done anything beyond this point. So that is how I started my research. It was in 2008 I started my research, and in 2012 I went with this technology, little of knowledge, but nothing beyond that. It was having failures, more failures than the success. When I went to Navsari Agriculture University to talk about my flowers, our Dr. Janakiram, who is a vice chancellor for Horticulture University, he happened to chair my session and said, this is one of the novel technology which needs lot and lot of research. And he motivated me to go move forward and then approach Department of Science and Technology to help me out with the funds so that I could evolve the technology. And in 2015, I came up with the technology, but in 2016, I retired. This phase was not a small phase. From 2018 to 2016, it was a sleepless nights, and it was at night, it was a day and night, myself, and I'm sure Mrs. Shireen is here, who is my researcher, who was my research associate, now the associate assistant professor in the university, and Swaruparani, who was part of the project. All three of us had sleepless nights for the 6 years to evolve the technology. And they were so much amused because every day you go with some innovation and say that, no, today we are going to try with this. So they used to expect me, ma'am, what is next for today? So this is how our journey went on. And at last we were able to come with a technology which was really possible in 2016. And that did not stop my feeling that I have achieved, because flowers, as per the DST, it was the agenda or a goals that was set, I had to fulfill it. But there were many things that were still unfulfilled. But when I was retiring, I knew that I had to do little more of research. So after retirement, I thought, let me establish my own lab, because I was come out of my campus. So establish my own lab and research on it. And that was the time when I met Mrs. Ramadevi, and she said that, no, you're not going to keep quiet. You just move as an entrepreneur and I will support you. This is how I jumped from one stage as an academician to an entrepreneur, which was absolutely not my dream in ever before my retirement. And when I moved into the entrepreneurial role, it was a jump into the fire, because I never knew anything about what is entrepreneurial role. And that was the stage I had to learn A to Z. I had to learn to be playing the role on par with other entrepreneurs. So this is how it started in 2016. November, I started my journey, and till day, I never thought back that why did I do this? It was all the day. It was a day that added more and more knowledge to me. And till day, I'm a learner. I always want to learn from the environment. In fact, when I joined IBO in 2021 December, I never knew what is IBO or a business environment. So I wanted to learn what is business environment and what is networking. So this is how I entered into the IBO environment, and then learned lot from the experts who are today able to share so much of knowledge with me. This is what was my transition from my childhood to the day. I am so happy for everything. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am, for the elaborate answer. I do agree that sometimes people only look at the success of the entrepreneur, but they do not look at the kind of efforts which has gone into to bring the business to this level. And today I'm very happy that as a successful entrepreneur, you are running your business, a full-fledged e-commerce website, and people are feeling very happy to preserve the emotions, because flowers are always connected with the emotions. It's not only the flower. Great. My next question to you, ma'am, is what are the 3 key takeaways from the book? If somebody who reads this book, what are the 3 major benefits he or she will be getting?
First of all, they will know what is they will understand what is passion is about. If there is anything called passion, that means it has to be, it is in you. You have to nurture it. Once you start nurturing it, it becomes a opportunity for you to excel in what exactly you want to uh, professionalize or you want to evolve in yourself. So that is the purpose of the first purpose is nurture your dreams. Second thing is do not stop when you want to move forward. You be a, if you want to be a scientist or you want to be a person who want to be a technology, don't stop anywhere. Everywhere there is a learning. So learning is something that, of course, while learning and experimenting, you will face lot of ups and downs, lot of trials and errors will have to come, and still you explore yourself and then come up with the knowledge that is possible for you to come up with this solutions. And the last part of it is the entrepreneurial role is something never to take it as a lighter part of it. It is the one should be bold, courageous, and then be spontaneous to take to manage your business. So these three messages are taken into three different stages in the book. And then part one talks about passionate dreams, and part two talks about the scientific development, and part three talks about the entrepreneurial journey. So these three stages really well narrated, and that is the message anybody can carry from this book. Thank you.
Great. I do agree, and very well said, that we should not stop by doing the experiments. There may be a time wherein you feel that again you are starting from zero, but that's how the journey goes. I really appreciate that. We'll not talk much about the content of the book. Let us keep it secret for the readers so that they can read it and they can give us the feedback. But
I'm little happy to express that today I received a email from Amazon saying the Kindle version is accepted. So now our Amazon is publishing our hard copy and also Kindle version.
Great, great, great. Once again, many congratulations to you.
Thank you.
And also our black and white version is also available now. So recently, just now I got the mail. So all the versions, whether you are in India, you can buy it from Amazon or Flipkart. If you are abroad, you can buy it from Amazon.com. And if you want to read it on Kindle, you can buy it from Kindle also. Great.
Thank you.
Ma'am, I would like to know now about your writing journey, how easy or difficult it was.
It was a journey, Dr. Vineet. When I spoke to you, I thought it was going to be a smooth journey. The next day morning, I was just dreaming of what I need to write, and I was going to put my ideas into paper. And usually my husband gets me coffee in the morning on the days when he wakes up a little early. So when he got me a cup of coffee in the morning, I just told him that, I'm going to write a book. Then he was surprised at me. He gave a stern look, and then he said he went inside and then came back with a lovely pen, and that motivated me. So the pen that was given by him was the drive that made me to go a little beyond. So that day I started penning down my ideas, and then during the process of writing, it was the great enthusiasm with which I started writing. For the first 6 months, it was great enthusiasm. I made my elaborate stories step by step, never missing on anything. I had to pull out all the data, everything, to make the inventory of what I wanted. And then when I realized that I was going on writing, but will it become a book? Because it was going into volumes. So at that stage, I just thought no point, and I left aside. And then it was, in fact, in 2023, I gave a very big gap. Otherwise, I would have finished within 1 year. But I gave a very big gap. And it was another important incidents that happened. I had a interaction with Mr. Harshvardhan, our IBO member. It was he said, ma'am, I was just telling, see, this is my actual dream, but till day, I'm not able to move forward because I have developed my idea. I have written so much in it, but I'm not able to concise. I am really struggling it in this stage. But it was Mr. Harshvardhan who guided me how I can prune my idea and then bring it to a stage where it gives the right impression to the readers. So I am so thankful to Mr. Harshvardhan for giving me the idea to pool my thoughts into a small, concise pages. And then today I have only 143 pages in my book, but 143 pages every page has so much of message in it. So thank you for giving me this. I
Agree.
really hope.
Oh, yes. People would certainly like it. I'm damn sure about it because it's written direct from the heart. So I know how much efforts has gone into it. Dr. Mahalakshmi was referring to IBO. So those who are not aware about IBO, let me tell you, it's called Infinite Business Opportunities. It's an organization of entrepreneurs wherein all the entrepreneurs from different backgrounds, different businesses, we do an online meeting every Monday, 8 to 9:30, and we exchange the referrals. So that's the main concept. If you want to taste the benefits of IBO, you can get in touch with Dr. Mahalakshmi and she will invite you as a visitor in one of the meetings. Great.
Sure.
Now, ma'am, before we take a few of our guests, I would like to know, would you like to convey any gratitude message or would you like to convey any thank you to anyone, any people?
Surely. Otherwise, I cannot conclude my day. It was first of all, my thanks to you for motivating me to write this book. And today I am an achiever only because of you. I could write a memoir that will make me feel so happy about it. First of all, it's a satisfaction to me. Then it is the satisfaction to the others. And next stage is all the members who have participated in this event today, and then make me feel so happy that you're all part of this journey of me is something that is making me feel so happy. And I wish to thank you all. And I wish to thank my special guests of this day, my colleague, Dr. Janakiram, Mrs. Ramadevi Garu, and of course, I'm not able to see Mr. Narendra, who's a director of lyophilization system. So I thought that all three will be present. I'm sure he will be there. I'm not able to see him. But every stage, everywhere, wherever I had a issue, I was able to depend on so many scientists, so many colleagues, so many departments have come forward to help me. And today I have brought out the technology, not all by myself. It was the support of the complete organization, my university, my colleagues, my Department of Science and Technology experts, and everybody contributed to the success of my story. So I am so much indebted to every one of them for their contribution. So I thank IBO Mr. GK, who was on the day when he had an interaction, he was also one of the person who said that yours is a great story. So now, because of his motivation, I'm able to have a great interaction with all the IBO members. Now we have become a family. So all this credit goes to the IBO organizers. Thanks to one and all. Mr. Harshvardhan, I cannot forget to thank you. Thank you.
Great.
So
Okay, now moving to the next part, I would like to now invite Dr. Janaki Ram, who is the Vice Chancellor of Dr. YSR Horticulture University, Andhra Pradesh. Sir, welcome. Please convey your congratulations message to Dr. Mahalakshmi.
Good evening, namaste to
namaste, sir.
Everyone. Really, it's a great moment, proud moment, a memorable evening for all of us. And it's a inspiring day I can mention. And today, really, I'm very happy to be part of this launching a very special book. Today evening, which is the contribution of Dr. Mahalakshmi Reddy Garu, who was a retired professor from Jayashankar, Telangana State Agriculture University, And today, I feel this is a releasing of such book. We all should feel it is a Maha event of Mahalakshmi Garu.
Thank you.
And really, Dr. Mahalakshmi Reddy Garu, I met her during one of the national conference on floriculture during 2011 at Navsari Agriculture University. And I remember her presentation of her work. Really, it inspired not only the fraternity of horticulturists and particularly floriculturists, and I was one. And during tea time, I was really eagerly waiting to discuss with her about her this excellent work. And not only I found her a outstanding researcher, but she is one of the finest human beings. And really, I could sense her passion and love for the subject. Normally, as a scientist, we do our research, and during that time, we develop some technologies. But unless it is useful to the society or we are not taking forward to its end use for the stakeholders, I don't think we feel any satisfaction. That is how today, in this very special edition, the Eternal Petals, the journey of a scientist to an entrepreneur. Really, there are a lot of messages to be taken from this book. Not going to the subject, we leave it to the readers, as it was mentioned by Vinit ji. There is a lot of interesting things. One fine day, Mahalakshmi Garu called me in the evening, and I'm planning for this book, and I would like to send the draft. Just because as a horticulturist and floriculturist, I'm really very much passionate, particularly about this value addition of the flowers and the dry flower technology especially. Then I told Madam, I think this is wonderful job. And I thought it's a, some kind of research inputs in that. But when I went through just contents, really I felt she really has transformed her passion and research work, how one can become an entrepreneur also. A scientist can also become an entrepreneur. That is what she realized her passion and dream through this wonderful book. And of course, one thing, she is very lucky to have parents who acted as her mentors. That's really great, because as she mentioned, her father used to take her to, gardens and the flower shows, and also encouraged by her parents. This is really, I feel, rare. Of course, parents, they encourage and give life to us, but to realize a specialized passion, I think this she got, she is very lucky. And Dr. Mahalakshmi Reddy Garu has proven herself an outstanding researcher. And but not only that, she also proved as a entrepreneur. And of course, she is a good researcher because she was awarded with prestigious FAO fellowship from the West Virginia University, Best Teacher Award, and many other awards. Of course, from this book, we also take many messages that when we have some dream, the challenges will not matter. Very few challenges, whatever she mentioned, I think with her passion, I think they are nothing. I think anything can be made possible. Nothing is impossible. I think that kind of, with courage, today we have seen the real, her life story through this Eternal Petals publication. And lastly, to mention, she is a role model, I can say, through this book. She'll be a role model for many students and also teachers, particularly when we are talking about the new education policy. We are encouraging the students to take up entrepreneurship, and they should be job providers, not job seekers. I think when they go through this book, I think they will realize this message, and it will be a very inspiring. And of course, it's not only more than a story, it's a memoir to appreciate. And of course, as APJ Abdul Kalam ji mentioned, and one thing out of these three chapters, passionate dream, science and art presentation, entrepreneurial journey, it all ended with excellent quotations, very inspiring quotations by APJ Abdul Kalam. And one such, what he has mentioned, dream transforms into thoughts, and thoughts result in action. So that she has proved through this publication. And lastly, her life goal was to lead a simple and contented life, which is very much required these days for all of us. And I think with this, once again, hearty congratulations to Dr. Mahalakshmi Reddy garu. And of course,
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
and
It's my
to
pleasure
realize,
to have you on this day. Thank
to
you.
realize this, Dr. Vinith Goreji, like persons are liquid. And that is how this publication was supported. And today we have this kind of good publication, which will definitely inspire the society. And definitely IVO also we appreciate for doing this kind of, bringing out this kind of very useful publications. And lastly, my greetings from Dr. YSR Horticulture University, which is second of its kind in the country, which is awarded with A grade by ICR. And I see one of my colleague participating in this event, Dr. E. Karnashri garu, how we have given emphasis for this technology value addition and dry flower technology, and empowered many women entrepreneurs in our university. And one such examples, when I was head of the division, floriculture, IRI. We did a collaborative project, as she mentioned, DST project. I think I'm thankful to Madam for giving me this opportunity, and also to Dr. Vinitji for
Thank you so much, sir.
giving
Thank
me
you
this
so much.
opportunity for this wonderful evening. Thank you very much. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you so much, sir, for these kind words. And I really appreciate that despite of busy schedule, you have been able to make to this event. Thank you so much. We understand that being a vice chancellor, being a custodian for the university, you must be flooded with so many different responsibilities. But despite of all this busy schedule, you made it to this event. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Now, in this series, next I would like to call Mrs. Rama Devi. She is president of Association of Lady Entrepreneurs of India. Over to you, Mrs. Rama Devi.
Thank you, Vinit. And it's a great opportunity for me to congratulate Mahalakshmi Garu.
Thank you so much.
She's a role model, in fact, what I can say. And giving her knowledge to share is very important aspect, which I thought through this book she is able to do it. She inspired many women, and particularly many students who will be reading this book. I think they will have, we all dream big, like, want to do that, we want to do this, but very few people will get an opportunity to really make their dreams really happen. So one such person is Mahalakshmi. I met her in one of the colleges, I remember, Home Science College, I think. From that day, I followed her. Not that she followed me. I followed her. I used to tell her that it will happen. Please take it up as an entrepreneurship, because she got, wonderful ideas. In fact, when I visited one of these countries like Japan, they have this lipolization in a different concept. In fact, I happened to share with her the sample also. She said she's got, some other innovation happening, and she showed me her samples during when I visited a college or something. I don't remember exactly. But
Exactly.
that journey, what she really wanted to do is brought out in this book, because we never had a time, we never had any interaction. But I never thought she went through so much. Like, her mother was her inspiration. I happened to read the book. The way she expressed about mother, the feelings which she expressed, they are really like flowers. I know we need to cherish that. This
Thank
book
you.
has got those feelings. Well, I never thought, Mahalakshmi, you are able to give this kind, because you appear very simple. And though you are qualified, doctorate and all, everything, like sir was saying, but the book really given us some kind of emotional, I felt very sensitive, and also I felt touched when I read every page, which your feelings are really brought back in this, and your aspiration to become an entrepreneur, really, we all admire you, because often we only land up doing things on a book, but you have landed up becoming an entrepreneur also. So that's great. A professor becoming an entrepreneur is something which we, as sir said, today this entrepreneurial world, we need many such entrepreneurs. So this coming to your what you started, Florals,
Florals.
let me tell you today, in front of all these Florals, and all this, on this platform, I just want to express, this has paved way for us to start a lipolization in food processing. You remember, we have started from
Exactly.
a lipolization in food processing. Not only on flowers, you started with flowers, we started with food processing. So there are a lot of innovative ideas coming from the food sector who wants to preserve this using this technology. So it's not that you have kept it with flowers, you have opened the doors for a very important agri sector to preserve fruits and vegetables and all this through this technology. This is something which, we all admire you. A wonderful The way you mentioned even your childhood dreams and all, it was really touching, Mahalakshmi and Garu. This is a great impact on society also. I can say it's not just publishing. I mean, I should congratulate even the publishers for choosing such a knowledgeable person who can really inspire the young generation today. I think it's
Not
a
young
wonderful way
generation
of putting
correction.
everything on a paper.
Not young generation correction.
Yeah, yeah.
Old generation.
Old generation. I mean, it's always like, old generation should make a way for young generation, right? You showed the right path, how the dreams can be fulfilled and how you can successfully launch your project and become a successful entrepreneur. I wish you good luck and I congratulate you. We are happy to be associated and many more Mahalakshmis are needed here. So please encourage them. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Ramadevi Garu, for these
Yeah.
kind words. Now, in this series, now I would like to invite Dr. Mayuri. Dr. Mayuri, over to you.
Mute. Unmute.
Unmute.
Good evening, friends. Very happy to be here in an unusual gathering like this. And Mahalakshmi is a very good friend of mine. I'm not directly connected with her research, but I think I was the one who was beside her when this entire process took shape. We work in the same college, years together, we've been together. From the idea generation point to writing for the research project to Department of Science and Technology, every step I watched her do her work. And that is very inspiring if you notice it. She never gave up. There were routine works in college, as all of us anyway have, but she kept at it for years together, experimenting, starting from writing for the project, setting up the laboratories. You know the amount of effort that goes in. I was part and parcel of watching all that exercise that she did. The great thing about what she did today in releasing a book on this is, I think, multifold benefits to everybody. First thing, we generally talk about the product, the end product, and what we achieved. We don't talk about the process that went into it. If we do not know the process, it's not possible to get inspired or motivated to do anything. Mahalakshmi's book is one of its kind where it talks about the process. Process is a very, very critical thing, and how much the process takes away of your time, energy, effort, intellect, and all your cognitive processes. That's a very, very important part she lays down bare in her book. And she says it in a very flowery, nice, interesting language, as if she's done it very easily. I know for sure how much of effort that went into it because I was beside her all through that. So the process, documenting the process is one of the biggest achievements of this book. And the second thing is the pleasure she took in doing this work. We all do a lot of scientific work, but how much pleasure we take in doing it is never expressed in great detail to anyone. And if you take pleasure in it, you're going to offer that pleasurable experience to somebody else. Okay, if somebody can do this, carry on with it in spite of all the setbacks and all the problems, and still see it as a very pleasurable activity. After all, we can't sustain with any activity without pleasure. Sorry for being a psychologist, because I am a psychology person, I have to say this. That pleasure part of it comes through blatantly, clearly in her document. And the third thing is the sustained motivation she held. Years together, she had to work on very, very minute aspects, and everything is in a very simple manner documented in that book. I have had the opportunity of reading her earlier version of this book. So I know inside out of what all she wanted to express. And the final book is looking so pretty, so lovely, like the eternal petals. It's looking so...
Thank you so much.
And I cannot be happier than this, for my dear friend, close friend, having this achievement today. And I think she will inspire a lot of people. Intrinsic motivation is difficult to document. Mahalakshmi has done that documentation successfully. We need to be intrinsically motivated to do something. Those of you, and me included, who are listening to her today must be suddenly inspired to, okay, let me start and do something. That kind of a feeling we get when we read the book. And I am getting that feeling when I'm listening to everybody talk about this work. It has been a fantastic experience being along with her, watching her success and how she has moved from stage to stage and reached where she reached now, where she is in the public domain. Everybody recognizes her now, and it's wonderful to have that kind of an exposure. And I'm so glad she's a good friend of mine. Thank you, Mahalakshmi. Hearty congratulations.
Thank you so much. You made my day, Mayuri.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mayuri, for these kind words. You rightly pointed out that it's very, very difficult to document a process, but she has done it. It's a wonderful thing. Now, in this series, I would like to now invite Mrs. Nupur Dwivedi Pandey, who is a proud member of our IBO family also. So over to you, Nupurji.
Thank you, Vineet. I think saying anything, already a lot has been said about ma'am, but my first interaction again at KYM, like you had, helped me understand ma'am as a very humble person. And with the kind of experience she has, being a scientist, and then her entrepreneurial journey, I think I wanted that, this should be written down for people, or something people should know more about her, because I was absolutely, and I'm talking about probably 2 years back, 3 years back, ma'am, 22, right? 2 years back. So 2 years back, when I first actually had our KYM with her, this is how impressed I was. And to date, I think her humility is the biggest trait amongst everything. And today, when I hear her talk about her book, the passion is basically what I call, when Mayuri ma'am was talking about intrinsic motivation. I think it's a childlike passion, which is so evident in how she's bringing about, which will also be very evident in her book. And I'm yet to kind of read it, but I am now so looking forward to reading it, ma'am. So thank you so much for making me a part of your journey, for helping me understand. And I've seen the beauty of the how the products, the flowers that she comes out with, I have kind of always taken up as them for my family gifts, and they stand apart any day. So I think that is beautiful what you do for the world, ma'am. You help people live with the beauty of flowers. I think that is something people like layperson like me, who are not in the industry, cannot even imagine. So I would definitely give my thanks to you, and thank you, Viniji, for actually pushing Harshvardhan for helping, and thank you, ma'am, for ensuring that you write this book for all of us to read and to share your journey, because the world needs it. I'm very, very sure about that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nupur.
Thank you so much, Nupur ma'am, for the kind words. Perhaps Mr. Narendra Kumar is not in the room. I cannot see him.
Dr. Narendra,
Uh,
I don't find
he
Mr.
is not in the room. Fine, no issues. Now, last but not the least.
I would like to say a word about Dr. Narendra.
Yeah,
Dr.
please.
Narendra, he is a managing director of the lyophilization system. I met him in 2008. When he saw me with my dream idea, he thought that I'm just mad to think of freeze drying the flowers. And that was a stage when he just directed me to somebody who's small. And later it became when I came up with the technology, when the technology became so successful, and he offered to give me a pilot plant, which I'm using till day. That is from the day one in 2016 till day, he has been behind me to support me in all my activity. And I'm very grateful to Mr. Narendra for whatever he has done to me.
Great, great. Thank you so much, ma'am. So, ladies and gentlemen, now we have come to the end of today's wonderful book launch session. And once again, I would like to convey my sincere thanks to everyone who has joined this event today. And many, many congratulations to Dr. Mahalakshmi for releasing this wonderful book, Eternal Petals. And ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching this video on Facebook, you can like the page, stay in touch, because we keep on bringing a lot of author interviews and book launches for you. If you are watching it on YouTube, subscribe the channel so that we can give you the same kind of content. Thank you so much and wish you all the very best. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I thank every one of you for being with me today. Thank you.
Congratulations,
Thank
ma'am.